Those apartments look mighty abandoned. 这边应该可以进去吧？
可以进来，进来可以进来。都是没人住啊，这房子建得不好。
是吧？ Again, just look at the sheer amount of these places. Like, there's one, there's one, there's one. Bloody hell. Good afternoon, folks, from an overcast day here in Wuhan. Thankfully it's overcast, which means it's actually kind of cool. It's been really hot the last couple of days. Yesterday was up to 36 degrees in spring, which was unpleasant. But today it's overcast and it's been supposed to bucket down all morning, but thus far we have had only the lightest of drizzle. Now the weather forecast says the rain is still coming, but we're gonna risk it. We're gonna head out. We're gonna go and track down some more abandoned houses, ghost town. This time we're heading the other direction from the ghost town we went last time, but it is also next to a lake, which makes me wonder if it's kind of a similar situation to the last ghost town. But yes, we're gonna jump on the subway back there, line I think 6, transfer to 7, and then out into the boondocks basically on a bus, and hopefully we can track down these places. Let's get going. Well, that was a long ride on the subway, and during the ride my wife sent me a message to say it started raining. So let's poke our head out the subway gates and see if it is indeed raining or not. I checked the weather forecast for this area and they reckon it's not going to rain until 3 o'clock, and it's now 10 to 2. Wet umbrellas, light rain. Well, apparently just up here there's a bus stop. The bus J8 is going to take us to where we're going. We might be going to get pretty wet. I've just been checking the map a bit further and it reckons we're going to have to take this bus for 3 stops. So I'm thinking, let's take a bike. Let's try the bike. That's the bus we were going to take, J8. We wouldn't have made it on foot anyway. Bye-bye, J8. Maybe this way is going to be faster, although maybe a little less dry. And so much for being ahead of the J8. At the next bus stop, maybe we'll dry off for a second and double check the map to see how far we've got to go. I'm still not convinced. We're not going to call this one off, but we got 50 minutes until it's supposed to absolutely piss down. And yeah, well, the rain itself right now is not that heavy. The accumulation of the rain is starting to be felt. Whoa, drainage! Well, folks, the rain is still steadily coming down. So I'm going to hang out here at the bus stop in the dry for another 10 or 15 minutes, and if it eases off, we'll continue on. If not, we'll pick up from this spot on hopefully something of a finer day and go check out the ghost town, final leg of the journey. Well, folks, the sun is out and the birds are chirping. It is a different day. The last day we were here, it was piddling down and it only got worse. So we're back several days later, but nearing the ghost town. It's just a short shot up the road and then on the left. And look at that. Those apartments look mighty abandoned. Now I can see there's a big old wall around this place. Fingers crossed. There's a gap in the wall and we can make our way on through. Otherwise this will be a second trip for a whole lot of nothing. But there's our ghost town. Well, there's indeed a wall, but a helpful gate in between. Now this road is actually paved. From the kind of aerial shot from the map, I assumed it was going to be dirt, but it's a paved road. Abandoned apartment buildings, and if I'm not mistaken, behind them, more kind of like villa style houses as well. Oh shit, there's so much water around the base of that apartment. I mean, damn man, that's a lot of water. I didn't bring my gumboots, so we ain't getting into those suckers. But perhaps the ones over there be more achievable. Now it hasn't rained for the last kind of 3 or 4 days, and there's still a lot of water on the ground, so yeah, it was probably a good call not to come during the piddling weather. Let's see if we can get across this obstacle, and there's a car there. Yeah, 这些房子是怎么回事啊？你不知道？太奇怪了。Well, there was a dude in that car reading his book in the shade, and doesn't know anything about this place. Maybe he's just skiving off from work. I don't know. I think this site's even bigger than the last one, and in terms of these like apartment buildings, these things are massive. 20 floors? Rubbish everywhere. And then there's these kind of like slightly more finished villas. Fuck me. What am I doing with my life? 你好，这些房子是怎么回事啊？是烂尾了吗？哦，
那里还有
那边还有吗？
啊？那这是几百个一周的。
是吧？为什么是烂尾了呢？是手续的问题吗？还是？
那我搞不清楚。
哦，
反正这房子还破了，要重修了。
是吧？你们在这里种菜吗？
我们是好玩，开一点花。
可以啊，可以。
人家要种房子就不让我们种了呀。
嗯，我也喜欢在我的国家种菜的，种向日葵呀，然后小白菜呀。
你是哪个地方的？
我新西兰的。
哦，新西兰很远的地方。
很远的地方，对。你们是住在这附近吗？
对。
哦。
外地的。
可以。
我们是外地的，我们在这里买的房子。
是吧？哪里的？
我们是你知道的，我们都在今年，小孩都在今年上班了，都是这个。
哦。孩子在上学吗？
一直在上学。
上学，所以你们有时间过来种花呢，种菜呢？可以，可以，可以。这边应该可以进去吧？
可以进来，可以进来。都是没人住啊，这房子建得不好，
是吧？
不敢住。
不敢住。都已经做的差不多了。
你看它的地下都是水啊。
都是水吗？
你看都是水。
哦。
他的搞的都过不了关。
哦。
他的投资还不是投来的，他因为他地下没搞好，他因为离火离水太近了，他因为这个地下必须要搞好。
哦，离水太近了。
他那个离水太近了，他下面的工程没搞好。
是吧？对，现在都是水。我看到那个大一点的公寓外面都是水。
对。他因为人家投了资了吧，投了资了以后，他人家不敢住他的肯定里面肯定他们打过官司的。
哦。
都烂了。
嗯。好，我进去看一下吧。Well, we managed to get into one of these places. That's a bathroom. Man, pretty big place. Bedroom. This will be the living room. With a wee balcony. Looks like it used to have like a handrail. Yeah, they're all had handrails. I guess the metal is kind of valuable, so taken. Let's go up. This is the top floor. Man, look at the view. You can fully see out onto the lake. Waterfront property. Let's go up and see if it's got like an attic or something. Because there's more stairs here, which is different from the other places. These top floor places get an extra big balcony. There you go, there's the view, but you see how close we are to the water. What is that, like 100 meters? It's not far at all. But man, again, just look at the sheer amount of these places. Like, there's one, there's one, there's one. One, two, three. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's more behind us. Bloody hell. That's crazy. Someone's out a ton of cash once again. You们准备种什么菜呢？你们准备种什么菜呢？黄瓜呀。
花生红豆，
花生红豆哦，
好玩呐！
好玩啊，可以攒点钱呢。
赚不到钱，这里地方旱，
是吗？
也到夏天就干死了。
太干了吗？下雨的时候会不会就像淹水一样的？
你看这个还是水。
对，地下都是水。
那边也还是水淹的菜。那里到那边那个马路沟那边的那个还有3、4栋房子，全是水淹的菜。
是啊。
现在都还淹着菜，一落雨就是水。
哎。
那有一个他的姓周，他也在你们新西兰。
在新西兰。
对。
哦。上大学还是什么的？工作？
他那个都留学生嘛。
哦，对。
在你们新西兰吧？
对。
他现在好像也嫁到你们新西兰去了。
你们老家是哪里啊？
我们是天门。
天门哦，知道，没去过。
天门马湾。
天门好玩吗？
天门好。
可以吧？
天门出人才。
好，我有时间就去看一下。好吧，你们继续吧，谢谢。
好。
你们也这么走了？哈哈哈。Bye. Alright, a couple of local ladies. When I say local, they're not from this city. They're from a nearby city called Tianmen, small city. And yeah, like I said, they have relatives here. Also, apparently, some relatives in New Zealand. But yeah, relatives here who are working. Small town folk come to the big city, find a job. Working hours in China are pretty long. So if you can get your grandparents to come and help look after the little ones, that's kind of an ease of burden. It means you can do all the overtime that your boss expects you to do without extra pay. But yeah, it really is a bizarre state of affairs that you can get this far through a project only to kind of pull out at the last minute. Like, I'm often critical of my own country, New Zealand, for taking bloody ages to approve everything. Like, everything has to go through all kinds of consenting process before work can start. And it means projects often take years longer than I feel like they should. Like China, since the last time I was here, at least Wuhan, last time I was here in 2018, has built an enormous amount of stuff. Roads that used to be kind of dirt or at least gravel are now like fully paved and sealed. There's apartment buildings going up everywhere. There's way more subway lines. So they do stuff quick. But I guess when you get it wrong, you end up with a site like this. I noticed our friends back there also took the kind of rental bikes that I've been using. It would have been funny if I just scanned the code and jumped on one of those rental bikes and scooted on out of here, but nah, I'm not that much of a dick. Maybe we can scoot inside this one here. What do you reckon? Without stepping on all the carefully planted veggies. Success. This one doesn't have a moat around it. It does have someone's stuff locked behind a door. Someone's clothes hanging up. Whoa. Assuming all these places are the same design, so I'm not going to head all the way to the top. Let's take a look around. Little balcony. Again, lounge with a front balcony facing towards the lake. And kind of master bedroom. It's kind of a similar design. This will be elevators. Yeah, this will be the elevator shafts. All the way up there. Elevator shafts, because it's a tall building. Yeah. Okay. Still some of the workers' stuff left behind. Interesting. Well, like I said, these stairs just go on and on and on. And I'm pretty convinced every floor is going to be the same thing, just with a slightly different view. So you'll excuse me if I don't climb all the way to the top. I was kind of expecting these buildings to be like abandoned due to a bankrupt developer, like what almost happened to my wife and I. But it doesn't seem to be the case with these kind of lakeside properties. Seems to be it's either an issue with the land, or in the case of the other one, like planning permission not being granted, but work having already started. So, somebody living there? Is that just like a shack to chill out during the hot hours that we're entering now? But anyway, that's it, folks. This is our train. This is our train. It's actually not a river at all. It's a moat. A moat. Nobody else is walking this way, so we got the wall to ourselves.